Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be going through something which isn't talked about a huge amount in the inflatable kayaking world, which is seats and PFD compatibility. So in front of me I've got 2 seats and 3 PFDs. So in terms of the PFDs, we've got the NRS Clearwater, and that is a high backed PFD, as you can see by the mesh. The NRS OSO, which has got a full foam back. And just out of curiosity, I've also got the Job body warmer style vest here, which is obviously, as the description says, it is a body warmer. Still has 50 newtons of buoyancy. And the choice of 2 seats, I've got the Bluefin Kayak seat, which has obviously got a very high back on it. And I've got a much smaller kayak seat with a much lower back to it. Now, to some of you, you might think this is all obvious, but to somebody who's new in the kayaking community and wondering why he's a bit uncomfortable in their seat, hopefully this video might be beneficial. So my plan is going to be put on each PFD and sit on each seat. I'm going to go through the 3 PFDs on one seat, change the seat, and then wear them all again on the other seat. And I shall rate how the comfort feels for each one as I test them. So the first vest I'm going to test, I'm a poet and I don't know it, it's going to be the Clearwater, the high back one, with the high back seat. Let's see how it goes. Right, immediately I can feel the top of the PFD, so the flotation collar part of it at the back is pressing into the top of my spine, so it's sort of pushing me forward in the seat, and that's not comfortable. I can even feel the straps riding up a little bit, so I probably want tightening down. So that stopped the straps from riding up, but it still hasn't altered how the back feels. See how that part of the PFD's pushing me forward? Let's try the next one. So next in line is the NRS OSO. This is the one with the foam filled back. Let's see how this one fares with the high back seat. And that is immediately more comfortable. That is significantly more comfortable with a high back seat, because you're not having the back pushed in. You're at a nice even pressure all the way around you. I'll see if I can show that side on. You can sort of see that there. The backrest and the foam from the PFD are sort of just level with one another. And that's comfortable. So the next vest of choice is the Joe body warmer style. Tends to be a winter choice for me, this one. I know certain other people like to use theirs all year round. So let's try this one with the high back seat. And that's, again, absolutely fine. The only thing I don't like too much about these body warmer style or gilet style PFDs, you get a lot of stuff going on around your head and your neck. The Baltic flipper, which I've got as well, which I'm not going to test today because it's very similar to this, is actually very similar, but it doesn't quite have as much going on around the neck as this does. And I immediately are now feeling quite warm. But yeah, this is very similar to the high back one. If anything, it's probably marginally a little bit more comfortable, but the inconvenience of the stuff going on around your neck, it's not for me. So let's swap this seat out, put the lower back seat on, and then repeat the test. that's the low back seat installed. Let's get the PFDs back on and run the test again. So this is clear water. Right, so clear water with the high back PFD against the low backed kayak seat, and this is really now properly comfortable. I can push back into the seat a lot nicer. I feel supported properly, and I feel like this is just fairly natural because the bulk of your PFD and your flotation's at the front, and you can actually feel the back of your seat against your spine. And so far, we have a winner in terms of comfort. Back on with the OSO. Again, a reminder, the OSO is the one with the full foam back. And that there is not too uncomfortable, it's quite comfy. I feel like I'm being pushed forward a little bit by the backrest and the foam towards the base of my spine. But again, it does feel like the bottom of the PFD is trying to be pushed up a little bit by the seat, because the bottom of the PFD isn't too much lower than the top part of the seat. In fact, there's about 3 finger widths between the bottom of my PFD back and the top of the seat. So that's trying to lift it up, and which is causing these to feel quite loose. So let's try with the Job next. That feels quite natural. That's probably because the PFD on the Joe back goes quite a lot lower. It's probably about, it's over a whole hand width down the back of the seat, so it doesn't feel like it's getting pushed up at all, which is good. So what can you take away from this video then? PFDs and seats do have a lot to play in terms of comfort. So you need to work out if you've got a high back seat or a low back seat, and if you need a high back PFD or a PFD with a completely foam back, or maybe one of the gilet body warmer styles. Bearing in mind this is all my own opinion, so there's no physical science behind this, but it is just my comfort levels, and I imagine most people's will be very similar. So if you've got a high back seat, go with a full back or a body warmer style PFD. That will give you the most comfort. And if you've got a lower seat like the one I'm on now, you can pretty much get away with most, but I would be wary a little bit about the PFDs with the full foam back, because they can get caught at the top part of the seat and cause the back to be pushed up, and that's not very comfortable. So if you've got a low back seat like we've got here, your best options are going to be a higher backed PFD or the body warmer style. So it's something to experiment with yourself and see what works out best. But no, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it and found it interesting, or maybe you've even learned something. And if you have, there's a button specifically for it, and that's subscribe. And I'll see you in the next one. You take care of yourselves. Bye bye.